The Review Journal looked at court testimony from March 9th, where that's when Wynn apparently told the judge that he didn't need the training. Now, this case was not related to the sexual harassment accusations against him that Wynn has denied. The RJ says this case was part of the lawsuit involving his ex-wife Elaine Wynn.
Happening today, a huge housing development is breaking ground in Boulder City. Chopper 13 fast and first over the area near the 93 and the Boulder Creek Golf Course. Thank you for this great view, gentlemen. You see that big empty plot of land right in the center of your screen. That's where Boulder Estates will go. It will have 127 new homes. The developer says this is the largest home development in Boulder City in nearly 3 decades. The Vegas Golden Knights are one more win away from a spot in the playoffs. Just one win away.
Oh, yeah, they're going to do it no problem. Last night they notched another win right here at home.
To keep it in. Feeds it in the middle for England. Off now to Schmidt. Looking back door and hit a loose puck and a save made by Motion. Rebound score!
There you see it. The Knights are dominating the Vancouver Canucks last night. Final score to this one, 4-1. The team will then take on the Sharks tomorrow in San Jose, where a win will guarantee them a playoff spot.
Oh, that's exciting. It is 6:06 Las Vegas. Spring doesn't only bring allergies, but also a number of dangers to your pets.
Yeah, so we're going to look into which plants could make your 4-legged family member sick.
Plus, FedEx is doing something that could make your life a whole lot easier, where you can send packages from soon instead of going to a FedEx store. Justin?
You will want the sunglasses this morning. Clouds have temporarily cleared but will thicken up later this afternoon. That's when a few light rain showers are possible. After lunchtime today, we'll see how much more rain falls as we try to get toward the end of the work week, coming up in your 13th First Alert 7-day plan.
And we are flying fast and first over the east side of the valley. You can see the sun is just about to come up, and we are looking for breaking news this morning.
Well, this just in, Metro sharing some pictures on social media of the weapons that they confiscated while serving a search warrant. You can see a picture right here. Police say that they confiscated 12 illegal guns, including numerous rifles and scopes, while arresting someone in the Northwest for a drug-related offense. So they wanted to put that out there and let us know that they're getting those guns off the street.
All right, Dana, thank you. Well, some traffic troubles at the intersection of Mount Hood and Bonanza. Neighbors say that it is dangerous because of all the speeding drivers and people missing traffic signs. Our crews have also noticed a few crashes in that area. 13 Action News reached out to Clark County. They conducted a traffic study but determined that there's not enough traffic in that area to warrant a signal. So at least for now, the intersection will remain a 4-way stop with flashing red lights.
Happening today, the Las Vegas City Council is once again scheduled to discuss the controversial puppy mill ban. Last year, you'll remember the city passed a moratorium on new stores selling pets. That expired this month, and they'll be discussing the possibility of extending it to June. We'll keep you posted on what they decide. That was all in an effort to encourage pet stores to sell rescue animals instead of just buying from breeders.
All right, well, as Justin has been telling us, spring officially arrived just yesterday. But now here's the thing. Some of the plants that you have in your garden could also make your pets sick.
A lot of you are getting ready to plant. New this morning, Parker Collins explains what you might want to keep out of reach.
It's the puppies and kittens you really have to worry about.
I just watch them all the time. You know, I'm aware.
We know they get into just about everything. The ASPCA says springtime brings potential dangers. Lilies, daisies, and tulips can all cause harm. But here's the good news if you have an older dog.
Normally they'll just taste them and immediately, you know, say, that's no good, I don't want that anymore.
And it's not just plants you have to worry about come early spring, it's also that Easter candy. The West Flamingo Animal Hospital told us they see a rise in pets eating chocolate. The best advice? Keep chocolate out of reach and toxic plants fenced off. Parker Collins, 13 Action News.
All right, some good reminders there. Well, if you're looking to have some fun today with the family, you could head on over to see all of Nevada's museums in one place.
It's super cool,
yeah.
And the best part is it's free. 20 different museums from all over our state are going to be showcased at the Springs Preserve from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And again, no money to get in, so enjoy it.
A great spot to take the family for sure. The time now is 6:12, still ahead. A blast from the past. Toys R Us is out, but get this, it appears that KB Toys right now is making a big comeback when you can start seeing familiar stores popping up.
And look at this, a violent kitchen fight. A 17-year-old McDonald's worker shoved to the ground. The bizarre reason for this scuffle.
And I have 3 new crashes to warn you about, including this one out in Henderson near Stephanie and American Pacific. Everything you need to know before you head out the door.
Now, 13 First Alert Weather.
Here's a look at the big nor'easter impacting the East Coast. We'll talk to Dana and see live pictures from this part of the country in just a moment. An entirely separate storm system bringing rain and wind to the West Coast. A lot of rain, flooding rains in parts of Southern California. Some of that moisture is going to be able to cross over the mountains and sneak into Southern Nevada as we make it through the next few days. Stray light showers possible this afternoon. Any rain out there this afternoon would be spotty, and it would be hit or miss, and it would be light. Rain is more likely on Thursday, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, even tomorrow night into early Friday morning. Don't be surprised if the streets turn damp and slippery. Rain a little more likely as we talk about your Thursday into early Friday. Here's Futurecast. Things are not only dry this morning, we're going to start with a few hours of some sunshine. I think, though, that by lunchtime, the clouds sneak back into the picture. By the middle of the day today is when we could catch a couple of light showers in the mountains. Those showers having a better chance of sneaking down into the valley tomorrow morning as well as tomorrow afternoon. Rain totals with this system, maybe around 1/10 of an inch, possibly as much as 1/4 inch. Most of that falls tomorrow through tomorrow night. Our allergy forecast, high level of tree pollen today, medium high tomorrow, and with the chance of some rain, we may actually drop those pollen levels down to medium by Friday. That would be a nice temporary reprieve for allergy sufferers. I've had to make a few tweaks to your weekend forecast. On Saturday, more wind. On Sunday, some slightly cooler temperatures, but a dry weekend to look forward to with highs in the 60s. Not so much the case over the next few days. The wind picks up this afternoon through Thursday as those rain chances also begin to increase. Dana, this storm going to be a major impact for folks up and down the East Coast. That's impacting tens of millions of folks.
Yeah, and you know what? We've already watched accumulations just within the last hour. Live picture of New York City. You may remember I showed this a little bit earlier, and you could at least see the ground. Now it's completely covered, and you could tell it's also pretty windy there because they've got their umbrellas kind of walking through the wind as the snow's blowing toward them. A shot here of an intersection in New York City as well, and then Washington, visibility pretty bad there as well this morning. Look, we can hardly even see the White House in this picture. Want to show you McCarran Airport's flight delays, and you can see all the cancellations here. American, JetBlue, some Delta flights, all to JFK, and also Newark. You can see just completely canceled, not even delayed at this point. So if you're heading out to the east, make sure you check your flight this morning.
All right, thank you, Dana. I have 3 new crashes I want to warn you about right now. The first one is right near Desert Inn and Eastern. Seeing a lot of green out here, so not one you need to avoid right by the golf course, but wanted to warn you about it. We also have a crash out in Henderson right near Stephanie and American Pacific. Stephanie is the main street you're going to want to avoid, but it does look like a little bit of a mess out here. Chopper 13, fast and first. A few vehicles involved, officers out here. You can see all those flashing lights. So seeing a slowdown again, specifically on Stephanie, but American Pacific's not looking great either. So I would take Arroyo Grande or Gibson. Both look like good options for you. Tow trucks out here. The fire department also just left a few minutes ago. Your last new crash is on Boulder Highway, just south of Tropicana. It's Boulder and Missouri to be more specific. Not one you need to avoid, but if you do live on the east side of the valley, just ran through a lot of crashes. But if you're taking the 95 into the Spaghetti Bowl, it's going to take you 14 minutes to get there, going about 64 miles an hour.
Yasmin, thank you. New video in overnight shows a woman attacking a McDonald's employee over a wrong order. Police in Glendale, Wisconsin say the woman wanted a bacon biscuit but got a sausage biscuit. That's when she threw her order through the drive-through window. Then she got inside and pushed a 17-year-old employee so hard she fell, hitting her head on the fryer. The teen suffered a bump on the head but is expected to be okay. Police are looking for that angry, out-of-control customer.
All right, well, new this morning, FedEx is opening some 500 smaller stores right inside Walmarts across the country. It's going to take about 2 years before they all open up. Now, you could use these smaller stores to pack, ship, and also print if you want. They're also going to have a program where you could have packages sent to those stores and that they will hold it for up to 5 days.
Well, Toys R Us is folding its stores in the U.S., but another toy retailer could make a comeback to fill the void. A company that owns the KB Toys name says it plans to open about 1,000 pop-up stores before Black Friday. The owner, Strategic Marks, bought the KB name after the retailer went under. Strategic Marks says some toy makers are looking for a new brick-and-mortar chain to sell the inventory they already have. The company will decide after the shopping season which of the pop-up stores will remain permanent. Today, the Las Vegas Lights say they have a big announcement planned ahead of their first home game of the season on Saturday.
All right, so what is that big announcement, you're asking, right? Well, apparently the players and the coaches, they're going to let us know about this big announcement after their practice today. And also at practice today, the team is hosting some 150 local youth players. The Lights will take on their in-state rivals Reno on Saturday at 8 o'clock over at Cashman Field. We'll have to wait to see what this big announcement is.
Yeah, it has something to do with the fan experience. So yeah, it'll be fun to see what they have, what they're cooking up.
All right, time now is 6:20, still ahead. A homecoming nearly 14 years in the making.
A man is reunited with a cat he thought he'd never see again. How the reunion became reality.
And at 6:30, Britney Spears has a new gig as a fashion model. Why she was chosen over other celebrities.
And we are flying fast and first over the valley this morning. We're also live on Facebook. Sue and Kimberly are chiming in right now. They're some of our loyal viewers. You can ask questions too, and I'll answer them.
Oh man, that music takes me back.
Yes,
Boy
it does.
George and the
Yes, it
Culture
does.
Club will be joining the B-52s to take over the downtown Las Vegas Events Center at the end of the summer.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to my junior high prom right
Yes.
now, right? The Life Tour comes to Las Vegas on Saturday, September 29th. The show is going to honor 80s nostalgia and also classic hits. Tickets start at $29. They go on sale on Friday.
Oh, I'm all about it. That looks like such fun. All right, the Nevada Department of Taxation says the state collected $5.5 million in taxes in January from legal marijuana in 1 month.
Yeah, so just to give you an idea, that is right in line with the record of $5.8 million that was set in October, along with $5.5 million in November and $5.7 million in December. Wow. So it's all the same ballpark there. The revenue pays for state and local government regulation of the industry, with anything left over going to the schools. Well, for the next 2 months, downtown Summerlin is hosting a rather unique fundraiser that will also help some local dogs and the homeless as well.
I was down there yesterday and wondering what the fuss was all about. I wish I'd walked toward the crowds, because here's what was happening. Custom dog houses built by some Southern Nevada home builders are on display for Barkitecture. The houses are currently available for bid, and the proceeds will go to help the homeless in our state through the local chapter of Home Aid. The custom dog houses will remain on display and available for bid in downtown Summerlin until May 20th. So if you're familiar with downtown Summerlin, it was down kind of in the restaurant corridor at the north end. That's where I saw all the crowds, and now I know what was going on.
Yeah, down by all those restaurants
Yes.
there. All right, well, it was a reunion some 14 years in the making. That's almost a lifetime, of course, when you're talking about a cat.
Well, retired Canine Officer Perry Martin has adopted T2. Well, he did adopt T2 back in 2002. He lost the orange tabby in 2004 after Hurricane Jean. Martin notified local shelters, but eventually just assumed T2 died in the storm. When the orange tabby finally showed up, shelter employees scanned his microchip.
They said, Perry, what would you do if we told you that T2 was alive? And I said, well, I would probably tell you that you're crazy, because he died a long time ago.
Martin says he plans to keep T2 plenty spoiled for the rest of his life, and by this video, I'd say it's working. The shelter says it's a good reminder to microchip your pets and keep your information current.
Yeah,
what do you think T2 stands for?
I don't know.
Cool
Terminator
name.
2. That's the only thing I can think of. Perhaps, maybe. Or maybe there was a T1. Who knows? All right. Good morning, Las Vegas. Certainly have a lot more coming up in our next half hour, including how you could get a free air conditioner this summer.
And another data breach affecting thousands of us. What you need to know if you've used a popular travel website, and how you can protect yourself. Leslie.
And police already staged outside of Foothill High School after they receive a school shooting threat. But they're not the only school. We'll tell you what other CCSD schools have received threats this month alone and the consequences some students have faced.
right spot. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, Indigo, how far out to this thing, though?
Now on Good Morning Las Vegas.
It is 6:30 and a severe weather threat in California. We are watching the overnight developments and new videos coming in.
And Expedia.com, part of a con, and your personal information may be at risk. What you need to know about the newest data breach.
And also, the Cirque du Soleil family is uniting all to help the wife and kids of the artist who died to ease their struggles. And also, you can help out as well. Well, good morning, Las Vegas. I'm Todd Commuter.
And I'm Beth Fisher. It's Wednesday. We're so glad you're with us today. Welcome, everybody, to your morning newscast and your morning forecast, which might be a little bit wet.
Yeah, we do have rain chances in the forecast later today. After lunchtime, actually, a few sprinkles possible in the valley. We will start our Wednesday with a bit of sunshine once the sun is up. I think we'll be partly to mostly sunny for a few hours, so grab the sunglasses for the morning commute. Temperatures have dropped down to the low in the mid-50s around the valley. Looks like we'll be in the 50s from now through at least 9 o'clock this morning. The winds are calm, under 5 miles per hour to start the day. Later this afternoon, the cloud cover returns. Those clouds will thicken up and lower, and that's when we could catch a couple of sprinkles as early as the afternoon commute. Breezes noticeable at about 15 miles per hour through the afternoon. High temperatures close to 70 degrees. Yasmin, this is a lot of rain back towards Santa Barbara, even encroaching upon parts of LA. I will let you know exactly when that slug of moisture is going to reach us here in Las Vegas coming up in just a second with Futurecast.
All right, thank you, Justin. Tracking a couple of crashes for your morning commute. The one out in Henderson still causing a little bit of a slowdown on Stephanie and American Pacific. Arroyo Grande looks good, and so does Gibson. Green in both directions out there, so going to be better options for you. Also, an update to this crash on Boulder Highway just south of Tropicana. Here's a live look out at the area. Officer right in the middle of Boulder, but it's really not really slowing things down. Very light traffic this morning, so things are looking good out there. But traffic is picking up through the resort corridor, southbound until you get to Bonneville, and then northbound right near Sahara. So here's a live look out at that area with those lane restrictions in place. Your resort corridor drive times about average for this time of morning. 8 minutes heading south, 9 minutes heading north right now.
Yasmin, thank you. Right now, parents and students can expect to see more police on campus today after Foothill High School received a threat of a school shooting.
Right now, Chopper 13 is fast and first over the school. And, oh shoot, we just lost Chopper. Leslie Marina's on the ground. She's already seeing a police presence at that school, and she's learned multiple schools have received threats across the valley this month alone, Leslie.
Todd, bad school starts just after 7 here. Kids already arriving, and you can see that CCSD police officer stage right outside of Foothill High School right now. We saw another officer patrolling the school as well. This is coming after the principal says a threat was made against the school, apparently saying a person planned to shoot up the high school today. While all these threats are being taken very seriously, it isn't the first threat coming across a CCSD school this month. On March 2nd, a student at Sunrise High School was arrested for making threats against the high school, while a female student was arrested at Desert Rose for bringing a loaded gun to school just a day earlier. This year alone, there have been at least 10 students arrested for either making threats or bringing a gun to campus. Right now, the principal here at Foothill telling me that this threat isn't being considered credible, but that they're taking it very seriously, adding those extra police officers here on campus. They're also asking parents to download an app called Safe Voice. You can easily submit a tip here on this app. Parents or students should be using this. At least CCSD does want them to. Reporting live, Leslie Money, 13 Action News.
Some good advice, Leslie.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, in the meantime, schools, it turns out, in Henderson are outperforming other schools in Clark County.
Yes, that success can apparently be contributed to factors outside of the classroom. The report by the city says most students in Henderson live above the poverty line, and that makes a difference. It allows parents to be more involved and many of them to afford tutors. City leaders in Henderson also say schools perform well because of the community. As I said, parents tend to be more involved. Most of the schools in Henderson outperform the rest of Clark County and the state in reading, math, and graduation rates. So congratulations to that community. A Maryland high school will remain closed today after it became the scene of a deadly shooting. This morning, authorities in Great Mills say the shooting lasted less than a minute. A vigil was held last night for the 16 and 14-year-olds who are recovering after they were shot. Right now, it's not clear if the gunman shot himself or if this school resource officer who stepped in shot the gunman. Students say the timing of the shooting is ironic.
You don't expect this because we just had a walkout just a week ago about gun violence.
Last month, a Snapchat message circulated warning about an upcoming shooting at the school. It was deemed not credible. It's not clear if yesterday's school shooter was responsible for those messages. Dana?
All right, well, happening right now, people in California are getting ready for washout rains. Thousands of people evacuated. A so-called atmospheric river is pushing powerful storms into the central and southern part of the state. The rain started last night, and people who live where the wildfires caused mudslides are expecting the worst. The worst of the storm should move through this afternoon through tomorrow, and so obviously they are getting prepared and bracing for that today.
Yeah, feel for those folks. Dana, thanks for the update. Also new this morning, a friend of a Cirque du Soleil performer who died over the weekend is trying to help the artist's family. He started a fundraiser on Facebook, and it's already raised over $12,000. The man who started the Facebook page, or the fundraising page, I should say, performed at the Wynn in La Rev the same time as Jan Arnaud. As you know, Arnaud leaves behind a wife and 2 daughters. The tragedy happened Saturday night in Tampa at the Volta show. These are images from that show and some video after the accident. A veteran aerial strap specialist fell about 12 feet onto the stage below after losing his grip. If you'd like to help with the fundraiser, we have a link on our website.
We have a new eye-opening numbers out this morning about Alzheimer's and exactly how much it's going to cost Americans this year. An estimated 5.7 million Americans have the disease. Now, the cost to care for Americans with Alzheimer's will reach some $277 billion this year. The number of people diagnosed is also expected to jump nearly 29% by 2020. That's according to the Alzheimer's Association. Now, Alzheimer's deaths have more than doubled since 2000. It is truly, truly a terrible disease. Obviously, we know right now, unfortunately, there is no cure for Alzheimer's, but experts do say that taking care of your brain is as easy as remembering SHIELD.
Okay, the S stands for sleep. Get at least 8 hours each day. H, handle stress. I, interact. Experts say loneliness is a stress factor. E is for exercise, and L stands for learn new things. D is for diet. Experts say learning new things create new synapses. So if you have more things to learn, it's really good for your brain. And by the way, when it comes to diet, the Mediterranean diet is the best for avoiding Alzheimer's. New this morning, 880,000 people are waking up potential victims of a new data breach. Doesn't it feel like we're reporting on this every day? Well, this time hackers got into an older version of the Orbitz travel booking website and accessed purchases for most of 2016. Expedia, which owns Orbitz, says the hackers probably accessed credit card information, names, addresses, emails. It doesn't think they got any social security numbers, passwords, or travel itineraries. You can check if you're affected. We posted a link on how to do that at ktnv.com/links. The future of a popular Italian festival is in jeopardy this morning. The San Gennaro Festival is a local tradition attended by thousands of people, but a Metro investigation found promoters violated strict safety requirements.
We did a sting, and we do those because we think people need to do what they should do when they say they're going to do it. There was underage drinking.
Well, according to the results of that sting, undercover officers cited some 6 bartenders for serving alcohol to minors 7 times. And San Gennaro's license was then suspended. Well, now with the feast scheduled for May, just around the corner, promoter Anthony Palmisano still has not come to the commission to propose some plans. Now, Palmisano didn't want to go on camera, but did tell 13 Action News that he is doing everything that the county wants him to do.
He does have to go back for a hearing Thursday to see if the license will be reinstated.
All right, well, new at 6, a local AC company right now is offering a new unit to whoever has the oldest air conditioner here in Las Vegas.
I was just reading it in morning because we just replaced ours, which I'm positive was the oldest and ugliest. It certainly didn't work. Whoever has the oldest AC unit is going to get a new one for free. On top of it, they're also going to install it free of charge. The winner will be determined in May, just in time for the hot summer. We have a link to apply on our website, ktnv.com/links. Also new at 6, Britney Spears has a new gig, a fashion model.
All right, there you see it. Well, she has signed a deal with Kenzo. The company says Spears embraced the theme and inspiration behind the collection, which is centered around the idea of icons. Mom to Sons says that she now makes a more conscious decision to not take as much risk with her style choice.
Are you sure about that? She looks pretty risky in the ad.
She does. Yes, she does.
All right, Brittany. She looks great. 6:40, everyone. Royal wedding cake.
Yeah, well, we now know exactly what Prince Harry and Meghan Markle want to wear and whether the public can have a piece of it.
Plus, the serious new health concerns surrounding a bizarre new trend for smokers. What a local doctor wants you to know. Justin.
Our temperatures outside are in the 50s. We'll look for a high close to 70. This afternoon is when some light rain showers could sneak into the valley, so the drive home may have a couple of raindrops. I'll time out when rain will be heavier and how much wind you'll have to deal with in your 13 First Alert 7-day planner.
All right, we are staying on top of that breaking news out of Texas this morning. And Justin, a law enforcement official, tells the Associated Press that the dead Austin bombing suspect was identified as Mark Anthony Condit. Police say the 24-year-old detonated a bomb inside his vehicle overnight, killing himself. Well, that explosion also injured a SWAT officer who was knocked back as he approached the vehicle. Police are still on high alert for more explosive packages this morning, even after the suspect blew himself up overnight. But that latest development, they have identified that suspect as Mark Anthony Condit.
6:44 right now. Before you head out the door, I want you to keep in mind that we do have a crash right near Desert Inn, just east of Eastern. So it's actually at DI and Topaz. As of right now, seeing green in both directions on Desert Inn, but we'll keep an eye on this one. We also still have that crash at Stephanie and American Pacific. Listen, earlier I was telling you Gibson was a good option, but I am starting to see a slowdown on Gibson. So I think Arroyo Grande is going to be your best bet. But still seeing a slowdown again on Stephanie, Chopper 13, fast and first over this one. The tow truck is out here. Hopefully it's going to be clearing, but if you're heading out the door in the next half hour or so, you could run into a problem. So some issues on your surface streets if you're hopping on the highway, a slowdown on the 15, 12 minutes to make it through the resort corridor right now.
Yasmin, thank you. Today, Facebook executives, they are scheduled to meet with senators to talk about the Cambridge Analytica scandal.
The data company is accused of getting data on 50 million Americans from their Facebook pages without permission to influence their political beliefs. Here's the latest. Cambridge Analytica suspended its CEO because of a British news channel's undercover investigation. They recorded the CEO offering to frame and bribe politicians and fix elections around the world. They're also looking at the role the company might have played within the Trump campaign.
They were brought in as consultants. Steve Bannon had been a vice president of the company. So there are very close connections and links between, the very top level of the Trump campaign and this company.
The former contractor who blew the whistle will testify to a House panel. 13 Action News has spoken with a Las Vegas man who administered a polygraph on Stormy Daniels. This photo shows Daniels. Well, that's video of Donald Trump, but we have a photo showing Daniels sitting down for a test back in 2011. The man, there it is, the man who administered the test didn't want to go on camera, but said Daniels was extremely truthful. According to that test, Daniels told the truth about having unprotected sex with Trump back in 2006. The test was requested by by the publisher of Life and Style magazine who interviewed Daniel that year. They didn't publish the interview at that time. They waited and just published the test and interview earlier this year.
Well, a warning this morning from a local doctor. She is warning people, get this, about the growing trend of people using bug spray in order to get high. She says that